feel like we're not nearly cool enough for that intro.
No kidding. Hey, before we go any further, I'd just like to say that we need to set up some sort of a camera system to film the podcast setup, because nothing on this podcast is going to be as entertaining as trying to watch Griffin put the pop filter on her mic for 5 minutes.
I give up.
And then give up.
And then give up. The audience really missed out.
More of us trying not to watch it. Acting like we were not watching her get frustrated and twist this thing around.
The problem is, if you watch her or you make eye contact, then you're obligated to help. Because then you acknowledge that there's a problem. Is there a bomb in here?
Sounds like it.
What is
this?
that?
Is my new watch. It beeps.
Oh, yeah.
What is it telling you?
It's telling me that it's 11:43. So it's telling me that the Saturday morning at 11:43 when I got my watch and decided to test what the alarm sounds like, I set it up for daily, and now I don't know how to turn it off. It's also telling me that it's 85.8 degrees in here, and I know that's not correct.
That can't be anywhere close to right.
I've never seen a temperature feature on a watch that ever worked.
Wouldn't your body heat interfere with it? Because it's just right up on you?
I would think so.
And is it really valuable to know what the temperature is where you are? Don't you know because you're there? Isn't temperature something you want to know about someplace that you're going or what it's going to be? Once you're there, what are you going to do? It's like, wow, yes, I am freezing. That's verification. I didn't wear enough clothes today.
All right, so welcome back from Australia, you two.
Yay.
Hey, thanks.
Good day, Gus.
Did y'all get your fill of Vegemite and...
Griffin did.
Yeah.
I actually got a video I'm going to put up. We were in the booth on Sunday. Some fans gave us... By the way, I'm going to get off on a tangent here. You know how like sometimes at events, fans, viewers of our various products will stop by and bring us booze? Like,
are you jet lagged still?
I'm
Are you drunk?
Did you drink it before the podcast, the booze that they brought?
Very tired.
He started off the podcast with, before we go any further, we hadn't gone anywhere yet. And then it's like, then he interrupted himself with a tangent in the first four syllables of his first sentence.
I did. Well, anyway, people will always bring us booze to events.
Right.
Boy, they got nothing on the Australians. Every single Australian brought us free booze, I think.
Really?
It was like we were swimming in bottles of booze, which was all very nice. And I appreciate it very much. One guy even brought us like a bottle of Johnny Walker Gold, which I looked up online. It's like a $170 bottle of alcohol. I gave that guy a free T-shirt.
I think I've ever heard of
That
that.
was worth it. Yeah, it was good.
Here's the difference.
Mix it with Coke. It's delicious.
Here's the difference between Jeff's experience with that and my experience with that. I would say this. Hey, look at this bottle of booze that a fan brought to us. Jeff talks about the bottle of booze in the past tense. Where is the bottle of booze? Where are all these bottles of booze?
I think we shipped it back, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, I think.
Now he's going to tell us about the Australian recycling programs.
The guy goes,
glass bottles.
The guy goes, it was funny though, the guy goes, here, this is a very, I got this for you, and I was like, wow, thanks, that's really cool. It looks very expensive. And he goes, it's best if you drink it slightly chilled with dark chocolate. And I said, how about I drink it at room temperature in this booth right now? I think that's how we're going to enjoy this bottle. And he goes, I guess you could do that too.
Did he at least bring some chocolate?
No, asshole, he did not.
God, what nerve.
Anyway.
Telling you how to enjoy your liquor?
One of the things that we got was...
How does it taste with 5 cc's of Sharpie ink flowing from the That's one of the, after a convention, I'm just covered from fingertip to elbow in Sharpie ink.
You can't buy Sharpies in Australia anywhere. We couldn't find them.
Well,
so we got this thing called permanent marker.
Yeah.
It's just a white pen.
I couldn't find silver at all, and then we finally went to, the one thing about Australia that drives me crazy, at least the part of town we were in, nothing is open on the weekends. Banks weren't open on the weekends. I couldn't get change made, and then there was one convenience store open in the whole town, and they only had blue and red markers. So I couldn't get, like, one day we ran out of permanent markers, and eventually we had to borrow, like, when people would walk up, we had to borrow their Sharpies from them.
Yeah, it got pretty bad. But anyway, the point I was going to make is somebody gave us these Australia survival kits that were pretty cool. It was like a bunch of different stuff, like Tim Tams and some, I don't know, Foster's or something. And then these tubes of Vegemite that look like toothpaste tubes full of Vegemite where you just squirt it out, which is the grossest looking thing I've ever seen. So I dared Griffin $20 to squirt.
Australian or American?
$20 Australian, which is actually more than $20 American. Thank you very much.
Nice.
I
paid her
$20.20.
Yeah, I paid her $20 to squirt it in her mouth for 2 seconds and not throw up, and she did.
And I had it the next morning. I like Vegemite. It's good.
It was
if
disgusting.
you join the podcast late, that's actually a much more interesting story. The Vegemite is what? It is yeast?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's concentrated yeast extract.
One
It's not
of
concentrated.
is there-
It's not that shitty diluted yeast.
No.
Is there a difference between Vegemite and Marmite, or are they just brand
They
names?
say it. They say there is, and I thought there was because I remembered having Vegemite when I was younger, and I liked Marmite more. But since I've had it in Australia, I really can't tell the difference because I had Marmite recently. But I was thinking about doing a back-to-back test.
Marmite?
Marmite is like the British version.
Okay, so what's the difference between Vegemite, Marmite, and that shit that collects under your fender of the front wheel of your car?
You know, one of the girls that came by the booth was telling us, and she may have been fucking with us, but she was telling us that they get the yeast from beer, right?
Oh, or like the leftover yeast.
Leftover yeast from beer
beer
factories
processing
is what they use to make Vegemite.
She may have been fucking with you.
She might have been.
People down there love to lie.
Do you know what?
Don't they use the yeast in beer to make beer?
Well, I guess there's just leftover. There's like yeast discharge or something.
They just like scrape it out of the vats.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll also say the Australian people are very polite. They're much nicer than Americans.
I just want to point out that Australia has universal health care, and they have to fund that somehow. I think if you go follow the healthcare industry and the yeast industry far enough up, they might connect. I'm just going to say that.
That's very disgusting. Also, most expensive city in the world.
Oh my god, it was really.
They
bad.
say London is the most expensive city in the world. It's got nothing on Sydney.
But one thing we did find some good food, which I never found in England except for that one Indian food place.
Restaurant?
Yeah, so and at least Australia, like you'll spend a ton of money on food, but there's some okay food there.
All these expensive cities were awesome when the dollar was worth a lot more.
When the dollar was awesome.
Well, when the dollar was worth it was 75 cents to an Australian dollar essentially.
Yeah.
But now it's not even, it's under that. So it's
Yeah.
what do they call it? On par or parity?
Griffin and I we were staying pretty far away from the city, so we were thinking about getting a
Thank you, Gus.
hotel. It worked out great. 'Cause
You were staying across the street from the event. I don't care what your fucking vacation plans are when you're down there. My concern is where you're staying for the event.
It was an hour train ride into town.
Public
but-
transportation.
Go to what? It was a 2-minute walk to the fucking event. The reason
was.
you were there. So don't even start to give me shit
Actually,
about
the trains are a lot of fun. We had fun
the
doing it.
public transportation system's awesome there. But fuck, all you're fighting. I forgot what I was going to say.
Whenever
I'm
anyone
so sorry.
complains about travel arrangements, I get as quiet as I can because I did that.
Oh, yeah.
And I did it for a very short amount of time. I did it for, I think, maybe a year and a half. And then Gus took it over, and you've done it now for 6 years.
something like
No,
that.
actually, I did it after you.
Did you?
And
You
then,
did?
I
then you booked us at that
I
fucking
booked
hotel
you guys
in
at
Toronto.
that hotel in Toronto, and then I stopped doing it after that.
Sarajevo.
Yeah.
But it's horrendous.
It sucks.
Booking the people's travel in this company
Si-
is a thankless job.
That trip was also a little difficult because I've never been to Sydney. So I have no idea where anything
Dude,
was.
it worked totally
It was fine,
fine.
and
was
actually,
totally
it was
fine.
kind of after because we got there like a week early, so we could kind of go and see things. And then Matt stayed a week late, and then I think they stayed in the city center, and then he just like took the train in for the event. But I'm kind of glad that we didn't stay in Sydney. In the city center, because at the end of the day, like there's so many tourists like for the afternoon, evening, that it was kind of nice to go out to. We were staying in Olympic Park, which is a lot more like
It's an office complex area, basically.
no, but it's like it's where the Olympics. They took all of those buildings and they like had to figure out a way to like make it work into the city. So a lot of people will go out there and like work out. And we went swimming at the aquatic center or whatever. But it was really it was a lot calmer. So it was nice to go at the end of the day, and it was actually fun to take the train. And you could also, with the same card, take like ferries
and buses.
and buses. So
Get the My Multipass too.
yeah,
It's awesome.
it was awesome.
So when like cities, you said this was built like this is a relic from the Olympics. Do they ever successfully reintegrate those buildings into a city after the Olympics, or are they always, oh yeah, that's the rundown area where the Olympics used to be, and then like in 100 years they'll level it?
I think they're making it work with this one because
Yeah.
they're turning it all into residential, and so there's like all this crazy if for people that like to do physical shit, nobody in this office, but like people that like to work out or run or jog or swim, I can see them all moving there because there's all these fantastic facilities.
And there's like a commercial area that has like restaurants and whatever. So and it has a pretty
They're just
nice train
never open.
station. So it seems like a planned community almost. Mm-hmm. Like they're forming a community around all of this stuff.
It also seems like cities never recoup their investment at all from any kind of Olympics.
I read that. Actually, that's true.
They celebrate it when they get it, and they're so excited, and then They build out all this stuff. They can't manage it properly, and then they always lose money. I think all the Canadian cities that have had a Winter or Summer Olympics have lost all their money on it.
As a matter of fact,
I wouldn't be surprised if every city ever to host the Olympics hasn't lost all their money they invested in it.
I think Vancouver lost a spectacular amount of money on the Olympics recently.
right.
I think they were like one of the worst. As a matter of fact, the company that was at Whistler, is that where they were?
Yeah, they were. Some of it was at Whistler.
Yeah, where they were doing all the Winter Olympics. They went bankrupt during the Olympics, and they were like going to shut down like a month after the Olympics were over, and it was like really bittersweet for them because they're like, hey, we get the Olympics to wish us well on our trip to the unemployment line, I guess. You know?
I don't know if that's just Olympics. I mean, like World Expos or whatever.
The World Fair?
Yeah, World Fair. Like they have the same issue, don't they?
Don't talk shit about the World Fair.
Yeah.
No, like in Chicago, like they had all of the like in the Chicago World's Fair, they built all of those buildings, and then like a year later, all the homeless people were living in them, like people that had worked on the fair and didn't have jobs anymore. But
How uplifting.
They say it's one of those long-term bets, though. They say that if your city hosts the Olympics, you become a worldwide hub, and so you lose $300 or $400 million on the Olympics, but that the long-term effects are beneficial in business.
Yeah, look how it worked out for Sarajevo. They're fucking international hub.
Yeah, I know.
That's just
I'm not going to buy that bullshit. That's bullshit the International Olympic Committee spins to try to get people to host.
I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying that was the upside on that article I read about Vancouver.
They say it's the gateway to Eurasia.
Did you hear that Iran is threatening to boycott the 2012 Olympics in London because the logo for the Olympics looks like it spells out the word Zion?
You know, there's about 50% of our audience that just went, why do they hate the Matrix? It was the
2012 Olympics in London.
The 2012 is what spells out Zion?
Right, like the way it's a very stylized font. The 2 looks like a you can figure it out. The 2 looks like a Z. The 1 looks like an I.
Wow.
yeah, but wouldn't it be Oin?
But the way it's rotated, it's weird.
I mean, I don't know what to say. If I was the Iranian government, I wouldn't even use the word protest. You know, I would just stay as far away from that as I possibly could. I'd be like, yeah, we're showing up. We're going to have a great time because it's good to keep things exactly how they are.
Yeah.
How many protests are we up to now in the Middle East?
A lot.
5?
That's crazy. I mean, I guess we shouldn't even call them protests at this point. We should call them revolutions.
Revolutions?
Yeah.
And / civil war?
Yeah. There was all this excitement that that it was spreading to China. Apparently it's spread to North Korea now, too.
No shit.
I don't know about that. Really?
Look it up, man. You're the internet guy on the podcast. Yeah, hit the web and see if there's protests in North Korea.
Speaking of North Korea, Gus, I meant to send this to you when I was in Australia. I'll have to find it for you. There was a link from some dude on Reddit who got to go to North Korea on vacation. Like, if you have enough money, you can do it. And he had like 300 photos up, and they were fascinating.
That's awesome. I love that stuff.
I know.
Are you sure you're not thinking of like the fake Homefront protests that are happening at GDC for North Korea?
No, I'm pretty sure I'm not thinking about that. I don't even know what that is.
What was that documentary that we were watching? It was like it's a series of those guys that go in.
That was VBS or Vice.
Oh, that's a good one.
Vice
It's
TV.
really good, and they show the performance. They go into North Korea, and they film this performance that's put on, and they're like the only people in an auditorium. And like, how many people do you think are actually in?
It's like something like 10,000 or 20,000
like
people.
20,000 people performing at the same time who have been practicing and are like working like clockwork together. And there's like 3 people watching it. Like it's just all for show.
They were performing in case Kim Jong-il showed up, and he didn't.
Yeah, they trained for years. There's actually some documentaries you can get on Netflix about that. There's a documentary that follows 2 little girls who like trained for like 2 years to be able to participate in the mass games. And they're just hoping that he shows up, and he never shows up.
You know, I think about it seems like an enormous waste, but what else are people going to do? You know, I was talking with my wife about this the other day. When I was a kid growing up, it seemed like we were making things and advancing, like we're building towards stuff, and we knew what we were building towards. It just feels like we've made so much progress, especially with the internet. It's like a weird gateway technology where you could really just spend all your free time on the internet if you wanted to. Like, just have an internet account and do that.
Yeah.
And and there's so much entertainment. Like, you think about the amount of media that there is now. What they upload 24 hours of footage for every minute on YouTube. Like, every minute, 24 hours of video is uploaded to YouTube. That's on the YouTube fact sheet. It's just like you couldn't possibly process all this. And the way that the way food is now, and the way it's manufactured, it's like what does everybody do? You know, we always talk about the loss of manufacturing jobs and things like that in America, but it's like. Now we have finance, entertainment, and restaurants.
It's all entertainment.
People keep talking about how like everyone like is in the service industry now, or like there's more and more people are just in service. But then you like try to call a business, you can't find a real person.
That's true. It's true. It definitely seems like the quality of, at least the idea of service has gone down, or our expectations for the amount of service we should get goes way up.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know. It's like when I go to the grocery store as a kid, my mom would leave the loaf of bread. It wasn't a calamity, it wasn't the end of the world, whereas now if you get something shipped to you from Amazon and it has a chip on the corner, it's like, I'm going to boycott this company for the rest of my life and I'm going to destroy the world. Or my iPhone, which is the Louis C.K. Rant, which is amazing. Everyone has to sit around complaining about this, like, basically Star Trek device that we have in our pocket. We're all going to sit around complaining about how it should be better than what it is.
It's so slow.
I have no idea how to make it better or what goes into making it actually work, but this is terrible. It's awful.
Hey, did you see that they're supposed to announce a new iPad today, speaking of Star Trek?
Oh, yeah. Apple, they love having their events on Wednesday, a podcast day.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Do we coincide with a lot?
Their event is supposed to start like in 5 minutes.
Well, they revamped the notebooks a week ago, and they added, I feel like there should be like an interstitial here, Thunderbolts! the new interface, which Gus and I got in a very tense email discussion about. We actually had a group, there's a group email list that we all subscribe to here. Although it's not actually an email list, which is another problem I have with Gus. But we go back and forth on it, and Gus was talking about picking up a new laptop after he just picked up a brand new computer to edit the Drunk Tank video podcast, which, by the way, how are you enjoying that, audience?
And you made a very funny joke, I thought.
Well, I tend to make funny jokes in email. Is that, like, when the credit card bill comes in and everyone has to go through and specify what they spent this amount of money for and what category it goes in for the business. It's all for bookkeeping. I always pick out the person who spent the most, and sometimes it's somebody who's just, I guess, gone insane. And I always make fun of them in that email. And the last few times I've done that, that person has come up to me and been very upset that I pointed them out and that their expenses are totally legitimate.
I was in that person's office when that person read the email and was like, I have to spend this money. It's not like I'm spending it for myself. And you go, it was a joke. And he's like, and the person was not letting it go.
I was standing between the two offices. Yeah. I was like, whoa.
And you were literally like, it was just a joke, man. I don't care. It's fine. It was just a joke. And that person was not going to let it go.
He spent less money the next month, though. Funny how that works.
Bernie called me out for buying this new laptop after I just bought this computer. And I, of course, replied, because I had already been taking shit with...
It's very rare that Gus will send the passive-aggressive email that we all are guilty of every once in a while.
Sorry, that's my watch again.
It was I'd already been taking shit for the computer, so I was like, "That's it." I was on a trip. I was stressed out. I was like, "That's it."
So
I fucking replied.
You've got a new catchphrase now. Bravo.
Bravo.
That's how you signed your email.
He did. He ended it with bravo.
Bravo, guys.
So that was it. I wasn't taking it anymore.
Yeah. So he came back at me hard. We actually the discussion between Gus and I got so tense. I actually took it off the group list and took it to private one-to-one email.
That's when Bernie realized Gus was buying a laptop out of his own pocket, not out of Bernie's pocket.
You have a brand new computer. Do you want?
You know what? This computer doesn't work very well. When I'm on trips.
So, do you need a computer when you're on trips?
Hey, when the website broke when I was on the trip, how did I fix it? Was it some kind of computational device? It must have been a computer! How would I have fixed it with this new computer in my office when I was across the country?
How did you even get to Seattle?
A computer?
Why don't you buy a fucking plane?
Hey, according to Bernie, you use that computer to break it so that you can then fix it.
Jeff, I see you on YouTube all day. Why don't you price that out? Maybe we need one of those YouTubes.
Get a YouTube.
Listen, yeah, because that's totally the same thing.
You have a laptop. You have a laptop.
That I want to replace for myself, my own use. I don't know why I'm getting shit for buying myself a computer.
I also don't think it's a fucking coincidence when we went out of town, all the shit broke. I said to Jeff, I noticed that every single thing that broke is something you can break remotely from Seattle. Nothing that you would have to physically unplug broke at all.
Heaven forbid I buy a computer to fix stuff when it breaks.
Yeah,
what a terrible idea.
Oh, hey, is that where you were yesterday? You were at the Colo?
You know what would really help?
No, I need to go
fix the fucking email list is Thunderbolts. That's going to help us. Hey, how many gigahertz do you need to run terminal? You know, let me know. Fill me in.
I missed you guys.
I didn't.
Also, I also want to point out to Gus. That I had to say in email that why are we buying a first-generation hardware interface from Apple? I mean, I couldn't add any more qualifiers into that statement to make it a bad decision.
Technically, it's an Intel interface.
Okay, implemented by Apple. I mean, it's just like he said in the email, I'm going to buy this laptop day one, new MacBook Pro, because I understand that there might be interfaces that allow us to do mobile capture possibly some point in the future. I'm like, well, why don't we wait till possibly some point in the future and buy the laptop then, whenever these fictional devices come out?
How did your first generation hardware MacBook Air work out for you?
Don't have a first generation.
Or the revision?
That's generation 2.
This is generation 6 of the MacBook Pro.
Why you?
I'm just saying, you bought day one. When the day the announcement closed, you bought a brand new laptop from Apple.
First generation revision.
I bought the 6th generation of the MacBook Pro. You bought generation 2 of the MacBook Air.
I'm going to cross my arms.
So you know what? You ain't got shit on me, Burns. Look at you. Fucking sulking over there in the corner. Every point refuted. Point Gus.
How are we?
Man,
Oh, the dog woke up after you did that.
Sorry, Lincoln.
this is definitely a video podcast to watch.
Yeah, hopefully. What, do you need any equipment to edit this video podcast together?
Don't you get started, too. You'll end up in a fucking Sarajevo hotel. you are traveling so much, you asshole. I am going to put you in fucking Timbuktu. You will be bitching about the train ride from there.
God.
Come at me, bro.
It has been the increase in employee issues. I don't know what it is. It's been lately.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like
that really hurt my hand, by the way.
I bet
It sounded like it.
What did you hit over there?
My desk.
God, there was a metallic twang in that. You probably like popped a pin in your arm or something like that. Gus, do you have any metallic pins in you anywhere? You seem like a kid.
Currently, no.
I love how you had to think about that. Like, do I have any metal in my body?
Gus seems like the kind of kid who broke his arm, as a
Yeah.
young boy, and he wasn't able to heal on his own.
at math camp?
I never broke a bone.
There could have been a massive
He
fight
got
over.
he got a fracture doing fractions.
The struggle for the calculator.
You have 1/5 of an arm. Oh, yeah, I was going to say a big fight over the chalk.
Or like whiplash from raising his hand too quickly.
Okay, just Griffin's getting the shitty hotel.
Oh my god!
But wait, teacher, you didn't give us homework yet.
Once when I was in 3rd grade, I actually went to the office because we didn't have a teacher. Our teacher didn't show up for some reason, and we didn't have a substitute. And I thought everyone in the class was going to fucking kill me. That's probably the closest I came to having a broken bone.
Really? Because you went and got a teacher?
Because I went and got a teacher because we did not have a teacher.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You fucked it up, dude. And then in like 7th grade, you read Lord of the Flies, and you're like, oh, yeah, that'd have been awesome.
I don't think like if there's like suddenly a bunch of kids in a group that are in charge of each other, like I don't know if you would have done well, Gus.
No.
That would have not been the system for you.
He was trying to avoid Lord of the Flies. Yeah.
I cried when Piggy's glasses broke.
I know, that was so sad.
There's a big hubbub about, have you guys seen the footage of the soccer player? I want to say they're in Central America or South America, where
Probably a good guess.
Well, yeah, probably a good guess. Or maybe Europe or Northern Africa. One of those places for sure. But they were having a match, and one of the teams has an owl for a mascot. And Gus, you can look up owl in soccer, and I'm sure you'll find tons of links on this. So the owl somehow was flying around and landed on the field, and they were in the corner, and a guy kicked the ball, hit the owl. The owl gets stunned. The people who have seen this are not going to like you laughing at it. The owl's kind of stunned. It's kind of laying there stunned, like looking around like this. And the opposing team soccer player walks up to it, looks at it, and just kicks the ever-living shit out of it. You can't actually see how far he kicked it, but just how fast it leaves frame. And his excuse was he was trying to see if it could still fly.
Yeah, I see here. It says, Moreno has apologized and says he was trying to help the bird by waking it up.
With his cleats.
Is there like does he get punished for that? I mean,
can't-
that's
He
animal
probably got a
cruelty,
yellow
right?
card, right?
And it was their mascot. So it was the opposing team's mascot. And he was playing in their stadium. So he's like, yeah, I was trying to see if he could still fly. Ha, ha, ha. They said, ha, ha, guess what? You're going to fucking jail.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
no
should.
kidding.
Yeah, so he doesn't leave. So now he's in this. One thing you never want to do is break a law in a foreign country.
Probably good for him to be in jail because the entire country would probably be after him.
Well, just not the internet now.
It was in
Reddit has
Colombia. If that's any consolation.
Oh my god!
So
I actually wouldn't want to be in a Colombian.
chances
jail.
are he might have already been shot by the time he hit the owl.
Yeah.
Who knows, But anyway, so there's this big discussion though about, like, we talk about kids in a classroom alone. There's this big discussion about how cruel it was to kick this owl. And there's no question it's absolutely cruel.
It's terrible.
to kick that owl. And, occasionally someone will pop up in a forum thread and go, there's probably about 20 billion things that happened to people in that same day committed by other people that were 10 times worse than what happened to the owl. The owl did die, But it's like you said with kids. It's like if you put kids in a room, we have this notion that we want to treat owls well and we want to treat each other well. You put kids in a room alone. If there's 20 kids, probably one of those kids is going to be killed by the other kids within the hour without a supervision. Something really nasty is going to happen just because kids are, baseline humans and haven't had all that society layered on top of them.
That was I had a class at Texas State. It was called Magic, Ritual, and Religion. And at some point we did like a Satanist section where they talked about Satanism. And who is it that wrote the Satanist Bible back like in the 60s or 70s? Some Anton LaVey, is that right? Something like that.
Anton LaVey is a dude.
I didn't do very well in that class. But that was one of his points, like for Satanism, that people don't start out good. Like that's not a natural like, inclination. Like if you just start with kids aren't going to be like, you have to teach them to share, teach them not to hit. The people by nature have these like desires, and that like religion is essentially invented to make you feel guilty about them all the time. Mm-hmm. So that was sort of, I don't know where I'm going with this. But it's interesting that you brought that up.
It was Anton LaVey, by the way.
Woohoo!
And now civilization as well. It depends on, it's just anything like laws or, religion or anything like that. It tended basically to weed the human instincts out of you as fast as you can. And that was the Reddit discussion is they were talking about how cruel this is and how humans are so cruel to other animals who could do that. It's like, if it was another animal, it would do that in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? It's like the way, if you asked other animals what they think about conservation, other animals don't give a shit about the other
but I would
animals.
hope we're elevated above the state of animals.
Exactly.
I know. I totally agree. I mean, the guy should absolutely go to jail. But it's like we do get amazingly just livid about something that happens to an animal, and yet we have like 4 wars going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
And, It's one of those things. I guess you can always do a better job at something, or there's always something worse. But I mean, this is like, people are wanting to post this guy's personal information.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point. I mean, Gaddafi is bombing towns or cities in Libya right now, and people are complaining about an owl.
Yeah, bombing.
Well, and I don't know if it's just it's partly the owl, but partly anytime you make something a mascot, it becomes a representation of your team. Yeah, people get weird about sports.
Maybe you can't exert as much control over Gaddafi bombing people, but you can exert control over this one thing, this guy kicking an owl. Maybe it's something people see as more attainable and something they can affect.
I guess.
Versus affecting the direction of a country. I don't know. It's heavy discussion.
That guy's fucked up though.
Yeah.
I don't know what the attitude is in Central America, but I mean, if that guy was in America, he'd have trouble. Although Michael Vick's back in action.
He'd be in jail for 2 years.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
He went to prison. I mean, that's not.
Michael Vick, I just heard got labeled a hero by some organization. I didn't read why. I just saw the headline.
Was it the United Cats of America?
Here's my advice: if you're in America, never hurt an animal. Always pay your taxes.
Yes,
always on time with a smile.
That has to be the most important part about being in America. Or American is paying your taxes.
The Southeastern Virginia Arts Association. So very prestigious.
There you go.
Southeastern Virginia
Arts Association.
None of that makes sense. Nothing in that statement made any sense at all. The Southeastern Virginia Arts Association.
I think Michael Vick founded this association about a year ago. He's playing like the long con.
Why would they honor Michael Vick?
For epitomizing the word hero.
What? I guess Michael. Here's what I can figure. Michael Vick went to Virginia Tech, which might be somewhere in southeastern Virginia. So this sounds like a college alumni thing.
They're honoring his resilience in overcoming obstacles and becoming a true example of life success for all to emulate.
Dude paid his debts to society.
Yeah, but football. I don't want to sound like Roger Ebert here, but football is not an art.
Here's a quote from the president of that organization. People talk about Michael Vick as a convicted felon. Well, so was Jesus Christ. Yet he was able to do things above and beyond the naysayers to the point that we all recognize him today as Lord and Savior.
He was also into dogfighting.
Who, Michael Vick or Jesus? I thought the end of that was talking about Michael Vick, and then it pulled out Lord and Savior. I mean, okay, he's got a good cross the middle pass, but let's not go crazy.
He can tuck the ball and run.
He used to be a lot better runner. I think those running quarterbacks, I think they tend to get older faster.
They wear out quick.
Yeah, definitely. I also read another thing recently, as I tend to do on the internet, that I read an article that said that the average lifespan of an NFL player is 54 years.
Wow.
Something like that. I think I'm Gus, I'm going to refer to you again for verification, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Which is like a blacksmith in 1830.
I wonder how that compares to other sports. Like, how would that compare to boxing? Or, like, the average, I would think, lifespan for a baseball player is probably like 114.
Boxers seem to live an unfortunately long life.
Yeah, unfortunately long. You're right about that.
That it hurts them in horrible ways, but they don't die from it, unless they die in the ring.
It's also, it doesn't seem to affect, like, lesser weight boxers. You know, like, Sugar Ray Leonard seems fine. But you look at a Muhammad Ali or anyone that was a heavyweight, you know.
Sugar Ray was in the Fighter, the Mark Wahlberg movie.
Oh, was he?
Well, the older brother his whole thing was he was a fighter himself, and he had knocked down Sugar Ray Leonard in a fight, and that was like his huge claim to fame, and why he made him the pride of this town that they were all from, and he was obsessed kind of with that moment, glory days kind of a thing, and when they're actually at a fight and Sugar Ray is commentating, he tries to talk to him. The guy, of course, remembered him, and he's like, but it's actually Sugar Ray in the movie. Dude looks great.
Yeah, he just is going to be on the new season of Dancing with the Stars, I read.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
So, yeah, the average life expectancy of an NFL player is 52 to 59.
52 to 59.
Lower if you're on the line. It varies depending on position.
Wow. So, the like an offensive or defensive lineman is what you're saying?
Yep.
That's like getting in a fight 100 times in an afternoon.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine that. You think those guys, they look across the like, we're just going to take it easy on this one.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, nobody's going to be a hero right now. They have to, right? I mean, you can't go to a full wrestling match every essentially 45 seconds for 2 hours.
I wonder what it's like for rugby players. I watched a lot of Aussie Rules football because there's only fucking 2 channels in Australia, and it was either that or cricket.
Yeah.
And those guys take such a beating too, man. They're constantly like stepping on each other's heads and constantly punching each other in the dick and stuff.
And they have no gear.
And they have no gear on whatsoever.
I saw video of the other day, I guess, of these 2 soccer players. And one of them, they were kind of like jostling for position. One of them was receiving a pass. And one of the soccer players grabbed the other guy's arm and then hit himself in the face with it. And then fell down and flopped. So it looked like the other player hit him. But it was really the guy picked up the other guy's arm and hit himself in the face.
You think that's the biggest problem with watching soccer in America is we can't stand all that theatrical stuff?
Yeah, I found it really like off-putting when we were watching the World Cup.
What, all the flopping?
Yeah. I mean, I know that's part of the strategy, but it's just like, it's not something to be proud of.
I think the most off-putting thing for people watching in America is that there's not enough scoring. Like you should be getting excited when there's the threat of scoring, but Americans want to be excited when there is scoring. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that makes sense.
Somebody also made a good point about that to me, where if you saw a game that was 3-2, that would be the equivalent of a 21-14 football game.
Absolutely,
you wouldn't feel like that was low scoring.
Right. Yeah. So
I always say though, with football, when the play starts, someone's either going to get hit or somebody's going to score. That's going to happen every single time.
True.
Occasionally somebody might run out of bounds, but you're either going to see a big hit, potentially, every down, or a score. One of those 2 things has to happen. Whereas in soccer, there's a whole lot where you're just kind of waiting for something to build up.
Yeah, there's a lot of waiting in the middle, passing.
Do you remember, what was that sport that we saw? It was in Australia as well. It was like it looked like chariot racing.
That's what it was. It was chariot racing. 24 hours a day.
It was a lot. Like
the other channel.
Yeah.
Was it really chariot racing?
Yeah, no, it's really fucking, and you like, it's gambling, I guess. There's betting going on.
It's the 2-wheeled thing where they lay back in it, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not called chariot. It's called something else.
It's on. There's a channel in Australia devoted to that.
I'm sure whatever name we have for it too, it is wrong. Like I'm sure in Australia they call it something different.
There were literally 15 channels. One of them was 24-hour yoga. One of them was 24-hour chariot. One of them was classic Aussie Rules football, 24 hours a day. One of them was cricket. And then
there was one channel that had like the Golden Girls and a bunch of tattoos.
Yeah, and then the other channels were all reruns of Family Guy.
If in one trip to Australia, if you can figure out the rules to Aussie Rules football and to cricket, if you can crack both those codes, I think you see God. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I think I've met people who live in Australia and still don't know the rules to Aussie Rules football. Like, what are the rules? They're like, just drink and cheer.
Just drink and cheer.
When everyone else cheers, just cheer, okay?
The last guy who figured them both out was called a hero by the Southeastern Virginia Art Society.
What did I miss while we were gone?
You guys were gone about a week, right? Just
10 days. Yeah,
production stuff. We had the last short we produced was Inception Guy. We're working on our videos that we're going to be showing at PAX in Boston. We will be at PAX in Boston on March 12th. Is that right? For our
11th.
panel?
Yeah, our panel's on the 12th. Yeah.
We'll be there the 11th through the 13th. But our panel is, I understand, at 2 o'clock on Saturday, right?
Yes.
We should probably verify that because someone's been saying we've been saying the wrong time. But
What are we showing?
we will be showing some cool stuff and some other cool stuff.
That sounds awesome.
We should have 3 total videos to show. So we might be a little crimped for time on Q&A.
Yeah.
But if you're a fan of some of our productions, you might want to be there to see some of the videos that we're going to be showing.
That sounds cool. Oh, while we're mentioning, Griffin and I will be doing an appearance at the Emerald City Comic Con this weekend.
There you go.
Yep.
On Saturday, the date of that being March 5th.
Literally this Saturday. 3 days from now.
3 days from
Yeah.
now, we'll be signing at the 343 booth at, I think, noon to 1 or 1 to 2.
I think it's like 11, or we have to be there at 11:45, so probably noon.
Noon, yeah.
And but I would stop by the booth because they'll have people there all the time that are related to the Halo universe.
Right.
And Jeff and Griffin will only have an hour at the booth. That is it.
So we're just an hour in that rotation of probably a lot more interesting and important people.
Most
who will be
cons,
signing.
when we go to them, there's we're there all day long at the booth, and there's a rotation of people who are there, but it's always somebody from Rooster Teeth. But that will not be the case at this one. We will only be there for 1 hour.
PAX panel. I finally found the information.
Got it.
It's Saturday, the main theater, 4:30 to 5:30.
4:30. That's the problem we were saying earlier. It was
Okay,
in
there you
2,
go.
so it's 4:30 to 5:30.
Yes.
So if come before dinner, it'll be excellent. You'll see some quality video products with a nice live audience.
Who all is going?
It's us 4 and Monty.
And Monty. And
Jack.
And Jack, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Matt has now been grumbling about maybe I should go to PAX.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I hope he doesn't mind commuting from Jersey.
Why?
There's no hotels.
The hotel situation's gotten pretty packed over there. Packed.
Packed at PAX?
Hey, do we have hotels for Comic-Con?
San Diego?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Why did you pause when you said that?
Because that's
Gus?
a weird question. Why? Do you know something I don't?
No, I was just wondering because it's one of those things we always
why wouldn't we?
We always have to book so far in advance,
Yeah.
and I just was
Yeah.
wondering if you'd done it yet.
Okay, yeah. I always take care of them in November. So it's like,
Do you know where we're staying this year?
We got the Marriott.
Oh, okay, good.
The
Great.
one attached to the convention center.
That
Well,
hotel
next
we
to it.
were at last year sucked, but we had the best view.
We had the best hotel room ever.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We've progressively gotten better at attending Comic-Con. It's been the first time we stayed, we were about 10 miles away.
And we thought it wouldn't be a big deal. And
No.
now, man, last year we drove by there for some reason. And it was like, what the fuck was wrong with us?
oh my god!
The first year we didn't know how much to bring, so we had a storage unit that we had, right, off-site.
In my defense, that was back when I was doing travel. That first year, we didn't know we were going to Comic-Con until literally like 25 days before we got accepted because somebody dropped out. So then I had to book us hotel rooms in San Diego 25 days out.
It would be very interesting to know who that person was that dropped out because I'm fairly certain that we started attending Comic-Con in the last year when there was any available booth space left ever.
What happened is, I think it wasn't necessarily maybe that someone dropped out. Is that year is the first year they expanded to take the whole convention center. You know, that last hall? They didn't have that in the exhibition hall up until that year.
Sounds like an entire other convention dropped out.
Yeah, so I think they just bumped up to take the whole center, and then we got lucky. And
We got really
no one can
lucky.
get in anymore.
I read somewhere like a year or two ago that they get like 2 times the amount of vendor submissions than they can accommodate.
Insane.
It's insane. Which is why we can't ever seem to move up and get a bigger booth, even though we try.
That's true, and we have a corner booth, and we constantly have people offering to buy our space from us.
Yeah, we
Yep.
had to trade our other space for that booth.
Right.
And we got lucky to even have that other space. Like, we used to be at the back. Then we managed somehow to get moved over by Penny Arcade.
Right.
Then we swapped out with PvP.
We have kind of like an internet section there. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
PvP, Penny Arcade. Do you think PvP will have their own booth this year? Or are they going to go into the Penny Arcade booth?
It's a good question.
I don't know. They'll probably keep that booth.
Or they'll just, Koo and the Penny Arcade guys will just consume it and expand even further. They have Penny Arcade's been there for 2 years longer than we have, right? Or maybe even 3 years.
I think
2 or
2.
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have 3 connected booths in L. They're over there in their fucking corner palace.
They've got their 10 by 30 pallets.
They're in the Tetris fucker, that L.
So this week is Emerald City Comic Con up in Seattle, and then next week is PAX in Boston.
And then at the end of March, we will be appearing at MegaCon in Orlando, Florida with William Shatner.
Mega.
Very excited about
You do
that.
not have a hotel for that yet.
No.
I need to book that.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm excited. William Shatner's going to be there. I'm trying to say hi.
Are you guys going to try to go to Disney World?
I doubt.
I don't
We're trying
think
to
so.
actually. Millie's going with us because we don't have any family in town. So we've been trying to keep it from her that Disney World's even in Florida.
Parents of the year right here.
We don't want her to find
fucking
out.
awesome.
Nobody tell her. Nobody ask.
What if she starts listening to the podcast?
No, she won't.
When Millie goes to therapy in 10 years or 20 years from now, the therapist will say, what do you want to start with? She goes, how about this? She's going to take out 20 episodes of this podcast, put them down and go, just listen to these.
God, you know what's terrible?
I'll come back in 2 weeks.
She wanted to watch Wipeout last night, and I told her that if she did some chores, she could watch it with me. And so she did all her chores, and she sits down to watch it on Hulu. And the ad is a Disney World ad, so I made her leave the room till the ad was over. I didn't want her to see it.
You wanted to subject her to commercialization?
No, I didn't want to put Mickey Mouse back in her brain. With this trip coming up.
So what were her chores? What is a now 5-year-old?
She learned how to vacuum last night.
Oh, yeah?
Did a pretty good job. Yeah. She cleans her room, and
she
she
sweeps,
sweeps and vacuums.
Her job is collecting eggs.
Yeah, she collects eggs every day. She has a little egg basket.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Does she feed the chickens, too?
Nah.
No.
How are
not-
those
not really.
chickens? Did they survive the winter?
They're
fine.
fine. We finally sold our Chocobo, the rooster, to like a woman who had like a harem of hens that were lonely.
The rooster who could not tell time and would.
Yeah, he
Start
would. Like, he
crowing
started
at
when he
all
started
hours
crowing
of
at 2:30 in the morning. I decided it was time to
letting
find
all,
a new home for
letting
him.
all the drunks know. Go home.
Last call. Well, so let me ask you this. At one point, when you first got the chickens, it was very clear, oh, it's no problem. We'll get chickens. We'll, use them for the eggs. And then after they reach a certain point, we'll just eat them. And I said, you're not going to eat your chickens. And you said, why wouldn't we? We'll eat our chickens. No problem.
We're not going to eat our chickens.
Never, ever, right?
No.
You're too attached to them now.
I mean, even with Chocobo, I didn't even list him for free on Craigslist because I was worried that he would just become somebody's dinner. So I made it like $15.
She was very clear that he was a silky and his meat is not good to eat. You will not like this chicken. Trust me.
Yeah, I had that conversation with the woman.
So as urban farmers, you're partially committed.
We also don't even eat the eggs. We're the worst. There's no reason to have chickens for us except for pets.
So do you feel bad for the eggs?
No, we give them away to people.
No, it's just like we just turns out we don't cook at home or eat eggs that often.
You don't cook at home?
Not
That being
really.
said, I boiled eggs this morning.
Yeah,
We turned the oven off, right? Or the stove off.
Uh-oh.
I would think so.
You did it.
I would think so.
Why would I leave it on?
The neighborhood smelled like eggs when I came in this morning. I don't know if that's related at all.
I'm pretty
They
sure
add
it
that
does.
smell. Do you know that?
The egg smell?
Natural gas has no smell.
Oh, right, yeah.
So they
yeah.
add the smell. Oh, you're saying the eggs were burning.
Right.
I'm sorry. I was going with the natural gas sulfur smell.
No.
I was trying to help you, and I ended up confusing everyone.
Yeah, so we do need to cook more because we have been ordering a lot of pizzas and Chinese food.
So, breaking news, the iPad 2 is official.
Oh.
Thought you all would like to know
You
that.
want to tell us all about it?
No.
So it has a camera?
Yes, front and rear facing cameras.
All right.
Front and rear facing.
I don't want any more cameras around me. I don't like those things.
That's not a feature that I missed on the iPad 1. I know a lot of people complained about it, but I've never been hanging out with my iPad and thought, I wish I had a camera.
True, but
I guess FaceTime it would be cool.
You've got the little doodle app on there, right? So if you wanted to do film stuff, you could take a picture of what you've got in front of you, and then on top of bring it into that program and just draw what you want to do. I mean, it would make things easier if you wanted to use
Like
a special
storyboarding
work
on the
tool.
fly.
Yeah.
You just blew my mind.
I think that's Matt's been holding off because he wants to buy the next generation.
He's got an
with
iPad.
the camera. I don't think he does actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think he does.
He bought one. He had it for 3
Well,
weeks when I talked
his
to him
wife
about it.
doesn't know about it.
Really?
Yeah,
I hope she doesn't
know.
listen to this podcast.
You guys want to be alone?
Need a minute?
It's one of those things, Gus or Jeff, that you don't have it, so you can't imagine why you need it. But once you then have it, you'll try to
Yeah,
wonder why you
probably.
live without it.
But I've never. You're probably right about that. But I have iPhone 4s and I've never used FaceTime.
That's probably true. Yep.
So it's I don't think I would use it on the iPad because I don't use it on my iPhone.
The iPad would be better to use it. I mean, because it's larger and it would be a little
Yeah,
more
for
comfortable
sure.
to do it that way.
Well, it's like the same thing. Do you ever use video conferencing on your computer?
No, never.
It seems like that was when I was talking earlier about growing up and technology we were making. We had to make video phones. We had to make video communication. And now it's massively inconvenient, and who wants to deal with it?
Yeah.
And it's super easy, but I still don't want to do it.
Yeah. Why do you need to see someone? I don't get it.
Yeah.
really don't.
I mean, part of the fun of doing doing the call instead of going to a meeting is that they don't know exactly what you're doing, or like you don't have to worry about like wearing a suit.
Might be a generational thing though, because when Gavin, comes to stay with us sometimes, he is video Skyping with people constantly.
Well, I think if you grew up like Gavin was in high school when Skype came out, essentially, I think if you grew up and your first experience was video chat, it would just seem very natural to you. But it's like I get all the information I need out of audio.
Yeah,
you know?
Same here.
Like the internet, how the internet moved from text to mostly video, it seems like now. A lot of times I was like, man, I just want to read this. I can read it so much faster than I can listen to somebody tell me the information.
Yeah, it's annoying, like especially if you were going on like CNN, for instance. Yeah. Half of the articles or half of the headlines are video, and you're like, well, I guess I'm not going to know what happened in blank.
And it seems like they used to tell you there'd be a little camera icon that it was video, and now it's just a crapshoot. And I when I see it, I'm like, oh, man. As guys who make video on the internet, I probably shouldn't say this too much. I don't know if people would want to read Red versus Blue scripts.
I will not click on a video link for news at all.
It just seems weird, right?
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's too slow.
One thing too, especially for like video conferencing, I mean, and even in a fun way, like you were talking about recently, how with texting and like AIM, people say more and they act a little bit more openly in some ways than they would normally if you were looking them directly in the face. And I wonder if that interferes when you're like doing video chatting or whatever. Like if you're a little bit more like yourself, or you may not open up as much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Plus on a video conference call, you can't be in the room with a bunch of other people, mute the call and go, what the fuck is this jackass doing? They'll be able to see you doing that. I had a guy that I worked with one time. He said, business would be a lot easier if you had a phone that would let you listen for the 5 seconds immediately following the phone call. Like, the connection would just stay open. And they hang up, and the guys go, that was a fucking waste of time.
Yeah. That's not going to happen.
There's always that one nice summary comment that's made. There's another change on the internet that I want to complain about. Since I'm in a complaining mood, I got to thank you guys. I started off this podcast in a fucking terrible mood. When we went to hit record, I was in a bad mood.
Why?
Now I'm in a better mood.
Why are you in a bad mood?
Just because I mentioned earlier that, employee issues that we seem to have more now than we did in the past.
Yeah.
As we grow with more people, and I just had to deal with some employee issues who probably are listening to the podcast from the comfort of their home. But something that bugs me that I've run into lately on the internet is I've noticed now when I go to sites and I'm watching something, or it's like just a general content site or whatever, there's this new trend where there's a block of pictures that have headlines under them, like they're articles. And then you click on these pictures, and they don't take you to the article. They take you to another site, and I think MGID is one of the big ones.
MGID and Tulip, I think, are the two big ones.
Exactly, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. And then then you're in this site, and you're like, what am I looking at? Okay, it took me to a different site. Well, there's the article that I wanted to read, or a picture gallery that I want to see, and I click it, and it has nothing to do with it. It's like spam, but it's not even the courtesy of taking you to a different site to show you what you want to see. They just show you random garbage. And really reputable sites put these MGID interfaces up on their stuff. It makes no sense.
That's a lot. That happens a lot with when I'm doing image research for design. Like, design stuff's the worst sometimes because they'll show you like a really cool concept, but they rotate that stuff out, and then you can never find the original thing on that site again.
It's super frustrating too, because like when we were building out this place and there was furniture and we wanted to bring stuff in that was really cool, it's like, wow, here we go. This couch is perfect. Look how cool this couch is. And then we drill down and it's like, there's so many sites that are just design sites. And it's like, you see this awesome, cool chair. It's like, oh, this is just a concept.
Yeah.
It's like, this is just a computer rendering of this chair. Or what was the big thing? The pillows that look like stones.
Yeah.
Remember that?
And you tried to buy something recently and you're like, and you couldn't, it just kept
I had
right.
Gus try to help me. I found a thing on one of those design sites that was a flat wall.
It was like a shelf.
Wall shelf, kind of like you'd see at IKEA, but it was shiny and white.
Yeah.
And it was speakers for your iPhone, and it had
and
like
there
an
was a
iPhone dock in it, but it was also just a shelf. It was really cool and a very sleek design, and I thought that'd be perfect for my bedroom. And you can't buy it. You can't find it anywhere. I would go to we got in this loop that we couldn't figure out how to get out of. It was some
awful
Norwegian site where they were like, if you want to buy it, go to the distributor. And so I click on the distributor, and the distributor has a link to it, and the link takes you back to the site.
Wow.
And there were like 3 distributors, and they all did that. And you could it was impossible. It was impossible to buy this piece of equipment. I have no idea how much it cost or how to buy it because the one store in Norway that sells it doesn't let you buy it online.
When we first started looking for, the sofas you were mentioning, there are some cool like couches that almost look like puzzle pieces. And then you can like configure them any way you want to. So we started looking, trying to find a way to buy them. And eventually I found a store, like an actual like brick and mortar place in California that would sell them. And then so they told me to call the manufacturer, and then I called the manufacturer, and then went to their site, and then it's like, well, you need to like send an email if you want information, which is always the death of me buying anything.
Yeah.
So then I sent it, and they're like, okay, well, how much would the sofa cost? They're like, well, it depends on the materials and whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, how do I find out about that? And they're like, just tell us what you're interested in. Tell us the dimensions of the material you want. I'm like, I don't even know what's available. And then we did this email thing back and forth, and eventually I just gave up on it because first of all, I'm sure it's way too expensive if they don't list the price. But I don't understand that anyway. It's like if you want to sell it and you have a website, just put the fucking price on there and a way to buy it. Like, why do you have to why does anyone have to call anyone anymore?
I hate that.
Yeah, and plus, like, tell us what fabric you want. And you're like, all right, I want tweed. Well, it's not available in tweed.
Well, it's like,
what the fuck is it available?
Tell
Just
me
tell me
what
what's available.
Yeah, like if we have to customize it, then show us where we can customize it.
Yeah.
It's shitty.
Yeah.
Give me some options, internet.
Yeah.
Just tell us what material. I want transparent aluminum. Do you have that? No, then I'll take what you have. Yeah, I also have a weird feeling, too, that because they've put this design out there, like because this shelf with speakers in it, that they have that on the web, that it's somehow preventing someone else from actually making it.
Yeah.
Like that Logitech or somebody will go, oh, we should make shelves that have speakers in them. They look it up like, oh, no, Sony already makes it.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Well.
If
Missed
only
that
they could
boat.
investigate a little more and see that you can actually buy that.
Yeah.
It is weird. It's not. I mean, it's a very specific problem when you're going out to look for unique items, and then unique items exist but not in the world.
I had a similar problem the other day where it was actually yesterday where I started buying a lot of my clothes online for convenience, and I go through this site, Jack Threads.
You made fun of me for this.
No, it's true. And they have like, it's kind of like Groupon for clothes where they'll be like, hey, today we're having a sale on,
Pants?
Yeah, but like this particular brand, and we have 10 styles, and they're 75% off. And so I bought a pair of pants.
Did they make
through
fun
that.
of Tibet while they do this?
No, terribly.
Just like
And so I bought a pair of pants on that site, and they came in and they were great, and they fit me really well. And I thought, oh, cool, I want to buy this pair of pants again. Can't get it on that site because they were only there for a day. So I look at the brand, and I find the brand, and they don't have an online store on the brand. Like, how do you have a clothing company and not sell your products on the internet? They're like...
They sell to distributors.
Yeah, they're like, you can find us at any of our distributors. Search in your area. And it's like, of course there's not any in Texas.
Search in your area.
So it's like, I put in my zip code, and they're like, yeah, you can't buy these pants in Texas. Sorry, buddy. It's like, fuck. And there's
They'll teach you.
nowhere on the internet to buy them.
It's a long play, Jeff. They're trying to teach you buy 8 pairs of pants. If you like these things so much,
I guess so.
Don't fuck around and do one at a time.
Well, in
Go in
6
bulk.
months, if they appear on that site again, I guess I'll buy more.
Jeff does this thing where, like, I'd say maybe every 3 or 4 years, you'll switch uniforms. Like, Jeff will decide he wants to wear, like, he'll like to wear Dickies with white T-shirts. And then he'll get that same outfit in, like, 6 versions or whatever. He'll have, like, all the different colors of Dickie pants and then black and white T-shirts. And then he'll, like, need to change things up a bit. So then 3 years later, he'll, like, have a new uniform, which is, like jeans and Vans with like a button or like a polo. You wore polos for a while, but you're kind of in a new uniform stage. You're like coming up with a new uniform.
What's my new uniform?
You wear a lot of like plaid button up like pearl snap shirts, and
That's new?
well, relatively new.
What, like newer than like a onesie jumpy when he was a kid? Because he wore those at cons all last year. I know because I would always have to call Jeff and go, are you going to wear the exact same thing that I'm wearing today? Are we going to do the whole? Are we all going to be wearing plaid and have beards in the booth again?
I'm not wearing those button ups that much lately because it's too much hassle to button up. So I'm just wearing
Seriously?
American Apparel T-shirts because it's too much work to put on a long sleeve shirt.
I also think women do the uniform thing too. They just do it once a week. they immediately change it out over and over again. But I want to do that. I would love to dress like a cartoon character and literally wear the same thing every single day.
It would
yeah.
be kind of nice, like if we could get to the future already and we all have like the same leotard and not have to think about it anymore.
There you
Yes,
go.
that sounds awesome. Yeah, I try to put as little thought as possible into like what I'm wearing. Like I literally just have all my clothes in a line in the closet, and I just grab whatever's next. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something? I don't shop for my clothes, and I don't pick out my clothes at all. My wife does all that stuff.
That's why you have those lobster shorts.
That's why I have lobster shorts. I have shorts that have embroidered lobsters on them. That's like from 3-4 years ago, by the way.
Well, we remember them.
I found a great system where I hate to go shopping for clothes because I hate going into that little closet and changing in and out of clothes. Changing in and out of clothes for a guy is a huge hassle. I don't want to.
Why is it worse for a guy than a girl?
Because I don't know. You tell me. Girls do it all the time.
No, but then if you don't try the clothes on, you get them home and it's a weird fit. Like it doesn't matter what your size is.
Griffin
Griffin
gets mad at me because if I go to Target, I'll buy like 4 pairs of jeans and then I'll take them home and try them on. And if they don't fit, I take them back.
That's right.
And she thinks that's a way.
Yeah, but you go to the store twice. Why would anyone ever want to do that?
You got to go back to that store again
You're gonna go
anyway.
at some point.
Like when I go to a store and I'm with my wife and we have to buy pants or something, and we go to Banana Republic. Let's say, is that still in business? That place where people get clothes? Okay, I go and I have I try on a pair of 29-inch waist pants, and they fit. They're great. And then she says, "Okay, well then try on these." And I go, "What size are they?" They're 29s, which clearly I wear. Let's just buy them because these fit. They're fine. She's like, "No, you need to try these on too." And I'm like, "No,
it's
no,
because
I don't."
every pair of jeans is a different sort of cut and
Bullshit.
fits differently.
Not
Oh my
my
god!
problem.
I used to be in that camp, but about 6 months ago, I got fucked. I bought 2 different pairs of slacks like
Yeah.
that. One of them fit fine, the other didn't, even though they were exact same size.
Yeah, because the sizing is so inconsistent.
That's
now.
a fucking supplier problem. Or a design problem. If they're the same size, they should fit the
But
same.
different companies too will change their sizing, like especially for women's clothing, because they want to make their customers feel better, so they'll change the size so you feel like you're wearing a smaller size.
Plus, women's clothing is just that arbitrary number that has no basis in reality.
Yeah, no, exactly. So style and sizing are inconsistent, so you have to try things on.
Awful. Where's our space leotard?
That's right. I'm trying to solve the problem. You just want to be part of the problem. That's the way I see it. So here's
I'm just acknowledging the problem. There's a
and
problem.
and participating as a participant. So here's what I do, Gus, and you should adopt the same thing as well. My wife buys all my clothes, and this is what she does. She goes to the mall and she buys me a bunch of different stuff, and then she comes home with it, and then I try it on at home in the comfort of my own home, and then whatever I don't like or needs to be returned because it doesn't fit, she then takes it back. So it's like 2 trips to the mall for my wife. Very happy.
Nice.
She's having the full shopping experience, but
No trips for you.
And then I end up with 1 outfit out of 10. So it's a good system.
It's like a personal shopper.
It works really well, and she loves it. And she never listens to the podcast, so she'll never find out what benefit I'm getting out of it.
You're safe.
Because I would be like Jeff. I would wear the same thing every day. I would wear this. What are you wearing today? You have on gray T-shirts.
A gray American Apparel T-shirt and blue jeans.
We interviewed today for a position at the company.
Oh, yeah?
And I said, Jeff, can you go in and do this interview for me? And or actually, I said to Brandon, will you just take care of it because we were doing it in pairs? But
Yeah, I would trust Brandon over Jeff as well.
Well, today's a crazy day, and I thought,
Fuck you guys. I interviewed thousands of people at the old tech support company.
I almost texted Jeff. I almost texted Brandon and said, "Hey, don't take Jeff in there with you when you do the interview because it's kind of a different position." And I didn't. I came in and I go, "Jack, where's Jeff?" He goes, "He's in the interview with Brandon." I was like, "Oh, fuck." Let me see your hoodie. Let me see your hoodie that you went in to interview this employee in. I'm noticing the stained hoodie is making an appearance.
I have a stain on my right here. I don't know where it happened today. I don't know where it came from.
What is that?
So gross.
I don't know.
Did you try to? Did you?
Was that mustard?
It might be coffee or something.
It looks like sulfur.
That happened to me when I used the edge of my hoodie to wipe off the dry erase board. Were you doing that?
No, I noticed it after I got out of the car this morning. That it came,
Okay,
I don't know.
let's just assume the stain got there in some normal fashion. Let's just assume that.
Okay.
Let's not try to CSI the stain.
I know what
How
it
about
is.
this? Why don't you wash it? Just
Well, between leaving the car and coming into my office.
no. I mean, I think I've seen that stain on there before.
No, you haven't. I watch this once a week.
I think you're turning into Charlie from what we said. That's what I'm getting at.
I know what that stain is. That's
What?
the pollen from the trees in our neighborhood.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's got to be something.
So it must have been on your car, and you must have brushed it up against your car.
Well,
probably
that
right.
explains why my face is on fire right now.
Yeah,
That's exactly what that
I
is.
feel fine, by the way.
Oh, shut up.
but yeah, my
Allergies. What are those?
I'm a very. That's one thing I get knocked a lot on the internet for, like in Awu and stuff. People are like, "Boy, it looks like Jeff hasn't taken a shower in a month." I'm a very clean person.
Yes, you are.
I take a shower every day of my life, sometimes twice a day.
You're clean, but I think it's just that.
Clean but disheveled?
Yeah, you're not grooming.
Yeah, my clothes are always clean. I just don't groom.
Yeah, there's the whole process after you get clean of becoming presentable.
But getting clean is the important part. And as long as you get the important stuff down, everything
No.
else is just great.
As long as you
Right.
don't stink, what's it matter?
Well, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But if you look like you stink, and people only see you,
But they don't see the stink wavy line, so it's
Yeah.
gotta be okay.
Plus, obviously, you're way into it. You married me.
no, I don't have a problem. I'm just being argumentative.
Okay.
Oh man!
I almost knocked my mic off the stand here.
Before we leave, I have to tell a story about Australia.
Tell it.
Okay. Well, I got to go on a ghost tour, and Jeff wasn't able to go because we didn't have a sitter, and there was actually an age limit on this one. We couldn't bring Millie.
Oh, wow. Scary or something?
No, mainly gruesome, and I'm kind of actually glad that they put it, because when I went to Scotland, they didn't have an age limit, and some of the stories in the Scottish
every story was about little kids getting murdered.
Yeah, really, like, and very explicit, gruesome stuff. And Millie, I mean, I'm not scared of, like, I'm not worried about the ghost thing with her. I'm just mostly worried about her hearing about how people were murdered in great detail, you know? Anyway, so I went on this ghost tour, and when we first got there, like, I ran into some kids from the site, this guy James, and then he had his girlfriend there, and she was saying that when she called to make the reservation, they promised her that there'd be no costumes, no people, like, jumping out at us or anything, and we get there, and, like, immediately, like, we find our tour guide, he's got a cape on, and, like, a black fedora, and he's dressed all in black, and then, like, when he first starts talking to us, he's like, well, I've got some costumes for you to wear, and he assigned us all characters, and I played a guy named James that was supposed to be hanged. And then, like, everyone had, like, a character they had to portray. We had to come up and do role-playing. It was awful.
And so you had to walk around Australia at night with a noose around your neck.
This has never happened to me before on a ghost tour, but all of the other tourists that were there for other things in Sydney were pointing, laughing, and making fun of us. Like, people would be like, there are all these jocks there, and they're like, ooh.
So you paid $40 to get heckled for 2 hours.
Yeah, no,
It was like you got in a time machine and went back to high school. All the cool people were laughing at you. And
yeah, me hanging out with the guy in the cape again. Having to, like, do some improvisation is the worst.
Oh, hey, we did something pretty cool in Sydney that I'd like to recommend. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so I had an experience.
Okay.
So there's this hospital there that then later, like, the property was used as the first jail in Sydney. And you can go to it, like, on this ghost tour, and you might be able to do a regular tour during the day. But we went in, and, like, he was telling us a story about, like, people getting flogged and, like, their leg muscles, like, peeling off and then, like, getting gangrene and dying or whatever. And I noticed, like, when he started telling the story about that the backs of my legs had been hurting, and I just assumed it was from walking. And then I realized that I felt like somebody was sitting on my shoulders. Like, I got really, really heavy. And then for, like, a half hour after that place, and after I left, I felt nauseous. But, like, yeah, I don't know. It was weird. And then, like, it's like later in the tour, he was talking about, oh, yeah, some people are really affected by this place, and this is how they're affected, and totally got affected by that place.
Maybe you were never drunk in New Orleans. Maybe you were just having an experience on that ghost tour.
The ghost of
Maybe I was
past.
possessed.
Maybe all the dead beers were on your shoulders.
So anyway, it was kind of interesting, and it was kind of a fun tour, and you get to see, like, a part of Sydney you didn't get to see, like the old town on the rocks.
And you get to relive high school.
Okay. And so, the tour was goofy, the guy was goofy, but there are, like, some cool places.
Did you go on the haunted bobsled run?
No.
I don't know. I guess they had Summer Olympics down there. I don't know what Summer Olympics are.
Yeah, summer bobsledding.
Summer bobsledding.
Well, and at the end of the tour, I don't know if I told you this, but the tour guide asked me in for a drink.
Yeah, you told me. How was it?
I didn't go. I was like, actually, I got to get back to my hotel. And I ran off.
My non-cape wearing husband.
That's one thing I do appreciate about you. I don't express it enough, but I'm glad you don't wear a cape. Thank you.
Something like that should go unsaid. I mean, you shouldn't have to.
I'm thinking about new uniforms. I feel like we've lost Bernie. He looks like he's falling asleep.
Yeah, he's bored.
No, it's just I am very happy that Griffin had an experience where she felt something and it was a fun experience for her. And I'm doing everything in my power not to make fun of that.
You don't believe in ghosts?
Do I believe in ghosts? Let me think about that. No, I'm not crazy.
You never had any kind of weird experience you couldn't explain?
Yes. Because I don't understand everything about the universe. But you know what I do understand? That there's no fucking ghosts. I do completely understand that.
Well, I didn't say I saw a ghost, but the place affected me.
Your legs hurt, right?
Yeah.
Through the course of the 2-hour walking
that
tour.
might have been walking. That might have been walking. But the other stuff, I don't know, the nausea and, like, feeling like somebody was pushing me down.
You do realize that if they had, like, drowned the people, right? If that's what they'd done in this basement or whatever, if they drowned the people, you would have said, and I felt like someone was pushing me down by the shoulders to drown me, and then somebody was grabbing at my ankles. That's what you would have said. So you had a feeling, and you were associating it with what they were telling you. And I'm sorry, I tried to stay quiet. I'm over here just trying to stay quiet. Now she's looking at me like she's upset. I was perfectly fine to let the story go by. You realize that's what happened, though, right?
Maybe.
Or maybe you had feeling. So what is it that the people who died from having their legs flogged?
Well, there were like a lot of people died for a lot of reasons there, and like because it was later it was a prison.
Okay.
But
what was it? I mean, what are you saying? That
was a lot of people were in the hospital because when they were caught stealing like flour or something, they would get like whipped
And
then
On the
they'd be
legs.
thrown into the prison because it would be like massively infected, and then they'd like cut their legs off, and they'd usually die in the process.
I get that, but the feeling that you had, they gave you that feeling to make you feel bad? Like, what's going on here? Why are you involved?
Like you were empathizing with them?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it was that I was hearing. Maybe it was power suggestion.
No, what I'm saying, what was your experience? Because you were saying you had an experience. Do the ghosts transfer that? Is that what's taking place?
I don't know. I was just standing there, and then as he was talking about it, I was like, oh, yeah, because my legs had been hurting, but I assumed it was walking. And maybe it was, because we did have to go uphill. But the feeling of pressure, of being actually pushed down, and
Right.
the feeling of nausea, they were very real, and I was sick for like a half an hour.
But what I'm saying, what is that? Like, in your mind, is that the ghosts are trying to show you what it felt like?
I don't know. And it could also just be space.
Oh, it's the energy in the
I don't
room.
know. And I don't know if I believe in souls or anything, but I do think that, like, I do believe in energies, and I definitely believe that space can affect people. Like the space that they're in, and that doesn't have to be ghost related either.
I totally agree with you on that. Jeff and I were crying in the Anne Frank house.
Oh my god, dude! I wasn't in it for long enough to cry there. I cried on the park bench outside.
For about 20 minutes. You see, and now she's looking at me like
Jesus
I'm an
Christ.
asshole. The ghosts are making her legs hurt, and I'm the dick in this situation. That's why I tried to shut my mouth. I'm sure it was fun, and Sydney's awesome. And you should go there and see ghosts that want to hurt your legs. Did you guys see a platypus?
No,
No, we tried to find them, but they didn't have them.
Is there a zoo
They're
in Sydney?
nocturnal.
Yeah, we went into the zoo, and there was like the platypus area. And
The
it
platypusery?
just- Yeah, but I guess they're nocturnal,
Oh,
right? And they just weren't out.
that sucks.
saw some koalas though.
I didn't see any kangaroos either.
Saw a cool seal show.
Yeah, the seal show was fun.
Man, what's the point of going to Australia if you don't see a fucking kangaroo or a platypus?
Because we saw koalas.
You saw
You
koala.
must have seen kangaroos. They have a whole like Joey section.
No,
We
but the
missed that
zoo
part
is like
walking around.
it's like multi-leveled on this hill, and it's awesome, but it's easy to miss stuff, I think.
And then be like, oh, I'm not walking all the way back up the hill,
Yeah.
so we can go, hey, look, there's a kangaroo. Also, Millie started to melt down
Yeah,
after a
'cause-
while.
Yeah,
Because we were there for like 4
We
hours.
went to the-
Walking up a hill must be so terrible after flying 5,000 miles.
Dude, it's a pretty serious hill.
She melted down, and the bird show, they've got like this wild bird show where they like have hawks like do tricks and fly around, and owls and stuff.
Do they have soccer players
But-
coming in?
She doesn't understand the idea of an audience plant kind of person, like participatory plant, you know. So at some point they had this woman like, I need a volunteer from the audience. Stand up and hold up a gold coin, and this bird flies and steals it and comes back. And she got really upset because she really wanted to volunteer, and she got like started to cry. And it's like, no, that's not it's not an audience member. Like we couldn't explain to her that like. That there's certain that those don't actually that stuff doesn't really happen. Like you don't like get a volunteer from the audience to do those things.
She's still
It,
upset
it
about
didn't
by
just
the
so
way.
happen that someone had a gold doubloon in their pocket.
Right,
Yeah.
and it was totally okay with this bird landing on her like sleeved arm when it was 90 degrees out or whatever.
Yeah.
But the ghost thing is totally real.
Okay, see, now you're an asshole.
Well, I hope that you enjoy your existence where you just die and nothing ever happens.
I didn't
beyond
say that. I didn't say that. I can't wait to fucking hang out in a basement and tickle people's ankles
Fucking
for
tourists.
fucking eternity. People coming in dressed like losers. It's like, shh, the guy with the cape is coming. He's gonna have a whole group behind him. Watch this.
Oh, man.
I had to wear a noose around my neck.
That seems dangerous.
Yeah.
It wasn't even cool like that. It was like a noose attached to like a dumb, like what do you call it? Like those things you put whistles on, like the
Like a lanyard?
is that no, like you know, it's like this the straps you buy and you have like a clip on them and
Is it
you
like
buy
where
them
you
for
put your
events.
badges at
yeah, like
convention? Yeah,
badges,
a
that kind
lanyard.
of thing.
Lanyard.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that what they're called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it like? Did it have like Ubisoft logos on it or anything like that?
Sydney Olympics 2000.
All right, well, should we wrap this thing up?
I guess.
Yes, don't forget that we are going to be at Emerald City Comic Con this weekend. Jeff and Griffin will be signing at the Halo Waypoint booth, or the 343 booth, on Saturday at, what time is it going to
It's,
go?
it's either 12 or 1.
We should probably find that out. We can
Yeah,
find
it'll be
out.
all over the website, and I'll make a journal.
And then PAX the week after.
And then we'll be at PAX the Saturday, and we'll be showing some cool stuff from different productions.
I hear
Put
it's
it that way.
really, really cool.
It should be very fun. We've
All
been
right.
working on it for a while.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.